Welcome everybody to Jason's Advocacy Corner. I'm here today with David, Carey, and Stephanie Miller. And we're just going to talk a little bit about emergency preparation. So I'm going to give them a chance to introduce themselves. So go ahead, guys.
Go ahead, David.
Yes.
You go first.
Well, once again, my name is David Carey, and I'm an Initiative Enhancement Specialist with Arizona Statewide Independent Living Council.
And I am Stephanie Miller. I am the Disability Access Educator for the Arizona Statewide Independent Living Council as well.
All right. Well, my first question is, why should emergency preparation in the disability community be a priority? David, you want to take that one?
Yeah, I'll go first. I think one of the biggest things is disaster preparedness tends to impact people with disabilities to a great extent, and for various different reasons. Maybe because those that they have physical limitations, they need certain types of medication. So disaster, preparation is important because if you don't prepare ahead of time, it's too late once the disaster occurs.
Yeah, I also think it's always important to practice because practice helps. Just know if there's any gaps in your process, you can either fix before the actual event happens. So that's good. All right, Stephanie, the next question is for you. What are some of the basic? What are some of the basic tips that individuals with disabilities should know in preparing for an emergency of any type?
So in general, we want to tell you to do 4 things. Have a plan or make a plan, be informed, and be ready to stay and be ready to go. And so I'll break that down a little bit. So having a plan is going to include things like, how are you going to get out of your home if there's a disaster or even a home fire? How do you get out of your neighborhood? And who's going to assist you to do this? And so that's where you pull in your family, your friends, any personal assistance do you use to make that plan. And then be informed is going to be learn all you can about any potential disasters or emergencies that can occur in your area, and learn how that can affect you personally, especially with regard to your disability. For example, David has shared with me folks who have spinal cord injuries cannot regulate their temperature. So how does extreme heat or extreme cold affect you, and how can you prepare for that? And then be ready to stay means that you'll have an emergency supply kit in case you have to stay in your home for an extended period of time. Like most of us, we've had to stay in our homes during the pandemic for weeks at a time, except for to go out and get groceries. So what kinds of things are you going to have in that emergency supply kit so that if you can't leave, or what we call shelter in place in your home, what is in there so that you don't have to go out to get it? Extra food, water, supplies for children, pets, and then supplies that have to do with your disability. What things do you need every day on a daily basis that you can put in that kit? And then be ready to go is going to be the opposite of that. What things can you put in a go bag or a small bag if you need to leave your home right away? So again, you're going to do snacks and smaller, lightweight foods, bottled water, your medications, any other durable medical equipment you might need, batteries, things like that. So if you have to go right now, what is already in that go bag for you? And then that is all. David, do you have anything else to fill in on that?
No, I think you did a great job of that.
All right. Let's talk about what are some of the barriers, myths that exist in society around the topic of emergency preparation. And David, I'm gonna go with you on that one.
But thanks, Jason. I think first responders are going to be there right away to save me. I think that's what people often think of that when an emergency happens, someone will be there, it'll all be taken care of. If a large scale event happens, response agencies may not be able to get to you right away, and they probably won't be able to get to you right away. Responders try to plan and prepare as much as possible, but only you know, the person with a disability, know what they really need. Another thing is disasters don't happen in Arizona, particularly Maricopa County. So why prepare? But the fact is, in Maricopa County, we have heat, extreme heat, we have extreme cold, and we do have flooding. Another thing happens everywhere, is active shooters, whether it's in schools or whether it's in a mall or somewhere else in the community. Those are some of the myths that people often carry with them in society, that why prepare for emergency when those things don't happen in my community.
That's some good tips there, David. When talking about emergency preparation, what are some of the hot topics? I know David already mentioned active shooters, but if you can go over some more, that would be great.
Yeah, active shooter is a topic that comes up a lot in our discussions with folks in the disability community, mainly because, you know, everybody's fearful of that happening, because now it is a reality that could happen, but also because some folks in the disability community can't just run, hide, or fight, which is the instructions we're usually given by response agencies as the basic 3 actions that you could do in an active shooter incident. So that is one. Obviously, with COVID, pandemic has been a hot topic as well. Folks who have disabilities might be a little bit more susceptible to severe illness and even death. And some folks who have disabilities or underlying medical conditions may not even be able to get vaccinated. So that's obviously a concern for the community. And then, you know, we talk about extreme heat and cold, and I mentioned that before, you know, as David had shared with me, that folks with spinal cord injuries can't regulate their temperature. So, you know, extreme temperatures are also a concern for the community and can be more harmful to some people with disabilities.
That sounds like some pretty good hot topics to me. The next question is for David. What are some great resources to get information regarding emergency preparation for individuals with disabilities?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thanks, Jason. There's a couple of things I would recommend. For example, ready.gov/disability is one. So once again, that's ready.gov//disability, or you can go to AZ Silk. AZ Silk has virtual events on a monthly basis. So Arizona Statewide Independent Living Council, we have candid conversations and prep chats on a monthly basis. So those are 2 excellent sources that if individuals do need information regarding to how to prepare for emergency, they can visit that site as well as attend those webinars.
Awesome. I'll have to check those out. Also, I've heard that some, like, I guess, fire departments and different police departments actually ask you to have a lockbox or have a lock, you know, give you a lockbox so you can put it outside your house in case you can't, like, answer the door. I find that to be a good resource. I don't know what you guys' thoughts on that, but when I was thinking about resources, that's one of the good resources that I thought about. So
Yeah, that's a good point, Jason. You mentioned the lockbox. I know when I moved to my home several years ago, there is a lockbox program the city of Tempe has. So what I would, one thing what I need to do though is go and just follow up with them to make sure they still have my information. So yeah, there's a lockbox near my front door. So in event of emergency, the City of Tempe Fire Department could come in my home if that need be.
Right. Well, guys, it was good talking to you, and thanks for coming on and talking with me. Hopefully you can come back again sometime.
Well, thank you very much, Jason. I appreciate it.